The Knicks, Lakers, Trailblazers, Timberwolves, Pistons, and Jazz. I think that's what it was. I hope I got that right. Hey everybody, my name is BDF44. Thank you guys for checking out my video. Here we are talking about Ben Simmons and the trade destinations that have been reported by SI. This is where we're talking about in regards to him. It's starting to heat up. Of course, we've recently made a video on NBA trade season approaching. I think it's the 15th is when some of these players that were recently signed are now eligible to be traded. So that opens up a lot of variables for different teams that want to move on from guys. And of course, Ben Simmons is the biggest name on the block at the moment. So those are the names of the teams. I'm not sure about the Pistons. I think I might have gotten that one wrong. But the rest of the teams, for sure, were reported by SI to have interest or discussions, however that goes, with the Philadelphia 76ers in regards to getting Ben Simmons. So I am actually very surprised to hear the Lakers naming this. I am. And you knew I would go to the Lakers because those other teams are not my team. But, I'm surprised, but I'm very happy. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm happy about this because Ben Simmons is a defensive giant. Never mind anything else about this guy's game. Defensively, you're not going to find 5 guys in the league more talented than him. And we are horrible defensively. Now, when I say horrible, don't take that lightly. I mean, we're one of the worst defensive teams in the Western Conference. Horrible. We can't keep a big lead because we keep giving them up. So Ben Simmons takes care of that immediately. He also helps a great deal with the ball movement because he's got passing genius in him. Unfortunately, though, he's a significantly worse free throw shooter and a significantly worse shooter, period, than you would want him to be because he doesn't really attempt three-point shots at all. And we also know that he's had a lot of concerns, things that appear to be, kind of internal for him, So you don't really know what you're bringing in regards to his mindset, and you hope that he'll come in with the intent of kind of attacking some of those weaknesses and respecting the spacing necessary for the team to function properly. Attempting the three-point shots that would help the team just play well, you know what I mean? And if they fall, they fall. They don't, they don't. If he's not able to do that, he's such a liability that it doesn't matter what team he goes to. There are going to be times where you don't want to play him. And that's the only concern that you have because his contract is so absorbent to where if he comes in and he's damaged for whatever reasons, you're stuck. Okay, so the thing about the Lakers, though, we're stuck already. We're stuck with 3 max contracts. One of which, is a player who we really appreciate. Russell, he's getting better, but he just doesn't help us defensively. And since we have defensive issues, we really, really do need someone in down there who can do what he is not unable to in that way. Plus, he's a bit older, even though he's not a liability to our speed. In fact, he's been very good with keeping our pace going. I've actually really, really liked how we've looked with him. But all in all, if you had to choose between the 2 contracts, I think 9 out of 10 people are going to choose Ben Simmons' contract because Ben is a younger player, Ben is a much bigger player, and of course, it's one of those situations where the defense, as we've already talked about. So, if you can swap Russell Westbrook for Ben Simmons, which you will have to do to make the numbers match, that's something that I would have done right away. That would be done immediately. But I do believe they'll find better packages than what the Lakers are capable of giving them, and ultimately, I don't think the Lakers are going to have the cojones, so to speak, to pull the trigger on a deal like that. I don't think they're going to do it. I think they'll kick the can, but ultimately they'll have to break up the big 3, and that's them basically saying that it was a failure. I don't know that LeBron James and Rob Pelinka and those guys are ready to admit that they can't win with Russell Westbrook. I don't think that they're going to allow that to be on their names. I don't, but if they're thinking like me, you got to set aside all that ego crap to salvage the season, for which may be one of your last if you're LeBron James. So he doesn't have time to play around in terms of waiting for things to maybe work out. If you can get someone that's going to definitely make you better, then chances are that's the only move to make. And you have to ask yourself, is Ben Simmons the best trade you can get for Russell Westbrook's contract if you're simply shopping Russell Westbrook? Can you get something else for him? I think the best thing you're going to get for him is Ben Simmons. I don't think Ben Simmons is arguably a top 10 player when he's right. So the answer is you're going to get nothing more than Ben Simmons for Russell Westbrook. So, yeah, I'm a happy Laker fan. If we're doing this, then that means that we're openly shopping Russell Westbrook, and that's all I've asked us to do, besides fire our coach. Again, I'm happy with Russell Westbrook. You know, I'm a very savvy fan, so I can look at Russell Westbrook's production and say he's playing great, and then look at his contract and say, we can't do that. We can't do that. So that's where we're at. We have to get out from under that contract. Unfortunately, bringing back Ben Simmons is another horrible contract. But again, he's a kid, and what you also see with Ben Simmons is somebody who can succeed LeBron James while keeping your defense and your offense in there with continuity. There's going to be a lot of continuity there because obviously LeBron James is a passing big guard just like Ben Simmons is, and with LeBron leaving, you'll still have Ben Simmons to run the offense. So that's what I'm saying to you. Common sense tells you you don't have to ever worry about ball movement or defense so long as you build properly around Ben Simmons. And that is another thing. Ben Simmons has always wanted to be a Laker. You know, from the time that he was at LSU, I think he went to LSU because they had Laker colors. Like, literally, I really believe that. And now, you know, you see the picture from his rookie season, not rookie season, his college season where he had the Laker jersey on. He was standing in front of everybody with his arms spread out saying, I'm coming to the Lakers, catch me on the Lakers next year. He's always wanted to be a Laker. This is where he wants to be. So, like Russell Westbrook, we would be giving him a dream come true if we were to acquire him. And I think for him and where he's at, that's like what he wants. That's really what he wants. I mean, to come out of a situation like that and then to find yourself where you ultimately want to be, that would be like the ultimate eureka moment for him. But I think just like Russell Westbrook, when he get here, he'll find out it ain't all that rosy over here. The expectations are high. Cut and dry. We don't respect, and I say this with a certain level of sensitivity, but we don't respect weakness here. If you're going to come in here pouting, if you're going to come in here not, timid, or rather being timid and not shooting the ball, you're going to hear from Laker fans like myself every single night. It's relentless. You thought you were getting it from Philly. It's a different type of energy here. We're not as harsh as Philly, but we're equally as demanding. And we don't expect to ever lose. Like here, even if you're going through something, we still expect you to come out and play well for us because Kobe spoiled us that way. We watched him go through real world, real life, heavy situations and still ball out, hitting jump shots and walking off the court on injuries that's going to keep him out for a season. I mean, you just can't follow that up. But what I would tell a guy like Ben Simmons is this. We also fell in love with a guy by the name of Pau Gasol, who frustrated the heck out of us 9 out of 10 nights with how soft he appeared to play. But when it came down to it, he was an excellent Hall of Fame basketball player who won us over by not necessarily the style of play that he played, but the intensity from which he took every possession. And that's what I would tell Ben Simmons. If you come into the Lakers, one thing I've been telling Russell Westbrook on this camera and tell LeBron James and everybody else is that what I want from my Laker team is quality possessions. We're not going to always make shots. We're not going to always get stops. But what we can do is have good intentions on possessions. And what that entails for Ben Simmons is attempting rhythm three-point shots that may not come naturally to him. That may cause him a great deal of angst and anxiety. So if he's going to be a Laker, we are not going to accept him not shooting jump shots. You will get booed every time you touch the ball. People will be screaming your name. You're going to hear it from the Laker commentators every night. The after show guys are going to get on your case, and we're going to be screaming trade you just as quick as we brought you in. So I don't know if this is the greatest place for him in terms of his mental health as it pertains to leaving one stressful situation and coming to one that's even more stressful. Because we for sure going to put that pressure on him, especially if we trading one of our hometown guys, Russell Westbrook, a way to get him. And mind you this, he plays with LeBron James. That means it's going to be incumbent upon him to compliment LeBron James by not being timid, by not being horrible from the free throw line, and most importantly, by making up for the defensive liability of our entire squad. Yes, because Anthony Davis, he don't have that kind of foot speed right now. But the good thing is this. You match up Ben Simmons and Anthony Davis, in theory, you go from the worst defensive team in the league to the best defensive team in the league. Simple as that. As I said at the beginning, that's why you're bringing in Ben Simmons. It's not because of anything else other than the fact that he can lock up anybody. All positions, because he's almost 7 feet tall. He can lock up anybody. And so when you bring that in, you couple that with LeBron James's intellect, you couple that with Anthony Davis's ability, and suddenly your big three is devastating. because Russell Westbrook's like 6'2", right? He's a short guy that doesn't play as much defense, even though he has a relentless ability with athleticism. Well, essentially, you're bringing in a much bigger version of him who can continuously attack the paint. You ain't going to even be looking for jump shots, which means we hope that he's lots of dunks, lots of layups. Although, of course, when we last seen him, he was passing up dunks because he wanted to go to the line. But he has to have worked out those demons in order to be ready to play for anybody, let alone us. So I'm hoping that that process is underway. So we've talked about Ben Simmons a lot during the summertime. My preferred destination for him has always been the Rockets in exchange for John Wall. I still think that's a decent deal, but not as good as the deal as it used to be because of the emergence of Tyrese Maxey. I would not throw John Wall in front of Tyrese Maxey as of today. So that's where I'm at with that. I think the Pacers should be trying to win this. They're the ones I think need him the most because he would be a culture changer, and they need an infusion of something other than just mid, basically, is what I'm saying. They needed something that's going to wake them up as a franchise and get some excitement in there. So I expect them to be big suitors for him. Sacramento has some great trade pieces, a great trade package to offer. The Knicks, I look at the Knicks and I say, I don't know if I'm taking their package over what other teams may have. I'm looking at Sacramento's package a bit better. I like Minnesota as well. I don't know if they were mentioned. I forgot the names I mentioned earlier in the video. But what I'm saying is I like some of those other packages better. Portland, of course, is going to be involved. If they want to scratch Dame, they're going to get Ben Simmons for sure. You ain't got to worry about that. So, yeah, he's going to have a good set of destinations. As already mentioned, I'm sure that's going to expand as well. Other teams, I expect like Toronto to get involved as well. I wouldn't be surprised to see some teams you don't expect to get involved as well. I don't think Phoenix, Golden State, or the top teams, Brooklyn, are going to get involved. But some of those lower guys, the Boston Celtics, I wouldn't be surprised if they wouldn't be, they'll kick the can on this deal, see if maybe they can swap something, or see if they can do something for themselves in that way. But, the team that he would probably help the most is us. We need size, we need defense, and ultimately, we need to get out from under that Russell Westbrook contract, period. So, yeah, man, that's what I got to say. Ben can be a liability in some serious ways, though. So if we were to bring him in and he was continuing some of those old habits, I don't think we're better for him. We would probably be better keeping Russell Westbrook, and that is the fact of the matter. So it all depends on where he is with his conditioning and his mindset. And keep your eyes open because it's about to get fun. That's not the only trade to pay attention to as well. There's going to be many rumors coming about many different players. I expect to hear more of the same in regards to Ben Simmons, but also I expect to hear probably Kyrie Irving, John Wall, Pascal Siakam, some of these other guys who've been on the block. Their names will probably re-emerge once again. So that's what I got, man. Keeping my ear to it, and we'll find out what comes about these rumors. My name is BDO44. Thank y'all for watching. I'm out.